The way I see it, there's only three ways the 49ers lose to the Packers. One, the Niners can't stop Packers wide receiver Davante Adams. Two, Jimmy Garoppolo throws a bunch of picks. Three, special teams mistakes. We saw special teams mistakes in the 49ers' excellent season in 2011. Kyle Williams wasn't ready for the stage. He kicked a couple of punt returns, kick return. Niners lost. That could happen. Jimmy Garoppolo could come out and play like he did that one time in training camp this year, give the season away. It's possible. There's not much for me to talk about schematically with film breakdowns on those two. Those are things that could just happen. I'm going to focus on the first one, defending Davante Adams. The Niners did a good job the first time, or so it seemed. He didn't play that well, 43 receiving yards. He just destroyed the Seahawks last week. He's one of the 3 or 4 best wide receivers in the league. The Niners have to have a real serious plan for him, maybe above and beyond what they did the first time around. I'm going to show you the problems he presents and exactly how the 49ers should defend him and how they can take him out of the game. Let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to show you some clips of Adams from last week against the Seahawks, who run a similar scheme, have a similar defensive philosophy as the 49ers. They don't change much up. They do what they do and hope that it works. They believe in their scheme and in doing it so many times that they're good at it, as opposed to Bill Belichick, who builds a new scheme every week to take away the opponent's best player. The Seahawks did not take away the Packers' best player, really their only weapon, Davante Adams. He killed him. And you see here, let's go back to the beginning of the play. This is just standard cover 3 that the Seahawks use, that the 49ers use. 3 deep, 1, 2, 3, 4 underneath defenders right here. And so what the Packers do, they know they're going against the Seahawks base zone coverage. So they line up Davante Adams inside the numbers, almost like he's in the slot, a real tight split, they call it. This gives him a free release off the line of scrimmage. See the cornerbacks about 10 yards off of him. And the play action pass is going to bring these linebackers up. And all he's going to do, Davante Adams, is run a deep crossing route. When he gets over here, it's KJ Wright's responsibility to pick him up. That's just a really terrible matchup. This is something the Packers can do all game against standard cover 3. And really, if Robert Saleh uses this most of the game, what he's banking on is the 49ers pass rush to get to Aaron Rodgers before he has a chance to throw to Davante Adams. You're not really banking on covering him because he's going to torch these zone coverages. He does it all the time. You're banking on getting to Rodgers. And that's great. The Niners have a terrific 4-man pass rush. But if it doesn't work, because the Packers have a good pass-protecting offensive line. They didn't see it in the first game against the Niners, but they lost their right tackle. They actually do have terrific pass protection. If they can protect Aaron Rodgers, the Niners are going to have some serious schemes to take away Davante Adams with their coverage, not just their pass rush. Because, look, he gets the free release off the line of scrimmage with the tight split. No one jams him. These guys all react to the play fake. 50 has to now spin and find this guy. He's looking for him. He's just a linebacker trying to cover one of the best wide receivers in the league. Really tough. Spins around like 2 or 3 times. Gain of 11. These are ways that the Packers can and will attack standard cover 3 with Davante Adams. I'm thinking the Niners need to have some more exotic coverages than this. They can't just go with this all game. We saw what happened when the Seahawks tried that last week. Okay, this time the Seahawks are again in cover 3. You're going to have 1, 2, 3 deep defenders. Bobby Wagner's going to blitz. So you're going to have 3 deep, 3 underneath. Again, Davante Adams in a tight split to give him a little bit of a free release against this cornerback right here so he doesn't get jammed. They run an RPO, a little fake handoff, gets this defender in conflict, makes him walk towards the quarterback, and that's an easy gain of 11 on a slant. The Niners can't just give Davante Adams a free release into the secondary and an invitation to run slant routes and gain 10, 11, 12 yards at a time. Because they'll lose if they give him this. If he gets 10 catches, 11 catches like Julio Jones did week 15, the Niners will lose. They have to take away this guy because he's the Packers' only weapon. Jimmy Graham's not going to beat the Niners. Jake Kumerow is not going to beat the Niners. Even Aaron Jones, the running back, who's good, probably isn't going to beat the Niners. They took care of him. This Davante Adams is flat out elite, and they have to have a plan beyond tackling him after he already gets the ball because that was the Seahawks' plan. Okay, so standard cover 3 isn't the best way to take away Davante Adams unless you have just a killer pass rush. Here the Seahawks are using man-to-man coverage. You can see you got the cornerback up in his face, trying to jam him at the line of scrimmage. Problem is Davante Adams is one of the toughest wide receivers in the league to jam and cover man-to-man. He gets the cornerback on his heels immediately, gets the inside release, cornerback never even touches him, and Davante Adams just outruns him to the sideline on a crossing route. We've seen wide receivers attack the Niners corners the same exact way when they're in man-to-man coverage. I'm thinking Julio Jones against Ahkello Witherspoon, Andy Isabella against Emmanuel Mosley. We've seen this. Something Niners have to be ready for. Really not a good coverage against Davante Adams. The theme I'm showing you is the Niners cannot allow Davante Adams to get this free release to the inside. He'll kill you. He killed the Seahawks that way. Take away the slants, the shallow crosses, the in-breaking routes, the quick stuff over the middle. Have to find a way to take that away. And the Seahawks didn't do that. I'm showing you all the ways not to defend Davante Adams. Okay, final clip from last week. This is 2 minutes and 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 8. This is, again, man-to-man coverage with only one safety in the middle field. This is going to be man-free with a blitz. That means we got one-on-one coverage, the nickel back against Davante Adams. Good luck. I just told you can't give Davante Adams the inside release. You got to take away the slants and the shallow crosses. Well, this poor nickelback's going to try to do that right now. Watch what happens. You call that inside leverage. Force him outside. Take away the slant. Take away the easy shallow stuff. You try to do that against Davante Adams with no help over the top from a safety, you give up a 34-yard gain. He's really impossible to cover one-on-one. Very few teams have a cornerback good enough to do it. I don't think the Niners have a cornerback good enough to do it. They have a pass rush good enough to stop, good enough to affect the Packers. But if the pass rush isn't getting it done, they have to have, in my opinion, they got to double cover him. And it's not just any type of double coverage. It's a specific type of double coverage, and I'll get to that. But let me show you, because I know you're yelling at me right now through your computer screen. Dude, the Niners did a really good job against Davante Adams in the first game. They have nothing to be worried about. Well, yes and no. Let me show you what really happened in that first game against the Niners. Before I get there, watch this happen one more time. I mean, come on. Davante, let's do it full speed. Jeez. You better be careful taking away that slant. You know, you take away the slant, give up a 35-yard catch down the sideline. Yikes. So the Niners defense did a great job against the Packers. They really, really rattled Aaron Rodgers early in the game, and he missed some throws when he wasn't under pressure that he normally would make. This is one of them. When I say the Niners didn't do a great job covering Davante Adams, I mean, you shouldn't be that surprised. This is Ahkello Witherspoon at the top of the screen, defending just a go route up the sideline. Rodgers rolls out to his left. There's no one within 10 yards of him. It's Ahkello Witherspoon, meaning all you got to do is give your wide receiver a chance because Witherspoon most of the time doesn't make a play on the ball at the catch point. Can't see it from this angle, but let's look from this angle. First of all, Aaron Rodgers. Time to set his feet, no pressure, doesn't set his feet, makes this little hop, skip, and a jump throw, and overthrows Davante Adams by a cool 5 yards, maybe 6 or 7. Had he just put it up there and given both Witherspoon and Adams a chance, made this a 50-50 ball, it probably would have been a touchdown. This is open in the NFL. This should have been a big gain, and this is why I'm telling you the Niners really didn't shut down Davante Adams. It was Aaron Rodgers who had one of the worst games I've ever seen. He was legitimately dreadful in this game. I would say one of the worst players on the Packers. He's not a bad player, though. He's still a great player, and I doubt he's going to have 2 duds in a row. I don't think he is, especially now that the second game is in the playoffs. He's already seen this team once. Think kind of like baseball, a batter's second at bat against a pitcher. He's just going to have a better feel for what's coming. So another clip of Davante Adams getting open and Rodgers missing coming up. Okay, again, Adams is at the top of the screen out wide against Ahkello Witherspoon. Witherspoon's going to be in this bail technique. It's his zone coverage. He's looking at the quarterback. Davante Adams runs a double move. He runs these as well as any wide receiver in the league. An out and a quick up. Gets a step on Witherspoon. And Rodgers just flat out overthrows him. Let's look at it from the end zone. I mean, there's the pump fake. He's got time. He doesn't step into his throw. It's all arm. Adams has 2 steps on him, and the ball is 3 or 4 yards overthrown. So, again, he's open deep down the field twice, and Rodgers missed him. Rodgers didn't miss him every time, though. They scored a touchdown in the third quarter. They went for a 2-point conversion. And this is what Davante Adams did to Cohn Williams. Remember that clip I showed you of Davante Adams just a second ago? Scorching the Seahawks slot corner, their nickelback, for a 35-yard gain because the corner was trying to take away the slant. Well, here, Cohn Williams not trying to get beat by the slant right here. No safety over the top. Adams does that little fake slant and fade route to the pylon, and he's wide open. It's like a home run in baseball, and the outfielder's just watching it go over his head. He knew he was screwed. Interesting call, too, from Robert Saleh. No safety over the top of Davante Adams. Just a blitz, a 5-man rush, and one free defender, one zone defender. Underneath, it's Fred Warner. I guess they were expecting the slant right here. Instead, you got the fade to the corner route, and no one's there. I just don't think you can cover Davante Adams one-on-one. Maybe some corners can. I don't think any of the Niners corners can. Unless the pass rush is just ferocious, the Niners are going to have to double cover this guy. And they, let's give Robert Saleh credit because he did in this game. I'll show you how he did it. Okay, so here's how Robert Saleh handled Davante Adams on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 8, so you don't have to worry about the run. There's no running back in the backfield, so you can play this coverage, which is called 2-man. It's vulnerable against the run, but there's no run going to happen. 2 safeties deep, no run defenders in there. What you got here is man-to-man coverage because Davante Adams is in the slot. There's Ahkello Witherspoon. The running back is outside of Adams, and a linebacker's over there. So it's man-to-man coverage. It's a tough matchup for Ahkello Witherspoon anywhere on the field, but especially here in the slot because Adams can go either direction, and Witherspoon can't pin him up against the sideline. Let's watch what happens. Adams gets to the inside, beats Witherspoon right there, gets him on his heels, but as soon as Rodgers makes the throw and Adams makes the catch, Jimmy Ward tackles him. Excellent tackle. So that's kind of like double coverage. You got short and long. Witherspoon taking away the quick out stuff, and Ward rallying up to make the tackle. That's great. Only thing I would say is if I were the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, or if I were talking to Robert Saleh, I would say, Robert, this is terrific. This is exactly how I would double Davante Adams with a short and long concept, guy underneath in his face, and a guy like using a chess analogy. This would be your pawn right in the, call this the bishop's face, make it tough for him, or the rook's face or whoever, the queen's face, pawn right there. Then you got someone right behind him. Only thing I would say is, instead of giving up the 7-yard catch on 3rd and 8 and requiring Jimmy Ward to make a heroic, incredible tackle 1 yard short of the sticks, invert this. Have Ahkello Witherspoon take away the inside stuff and have Jimmy Ward going over the top outside. Don't give up the slant. Don't concede the catch and then make the tackle 1 yard in front of the sticks. Take away the read from Aaron Rodgers. Force him to throw somewhere else. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is the proper way to double team a wide receiver that is elite, that is the number 1 guy you got to take out of the game. This was what the Patriots did to Tyreek Hill last year. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Short and long, but with inside leverage to take away the quick slant and the safety over the top. You got Tyreek Hill at the top of the screen. It's man-to-man coverage. The cornerback is playing inside to take away the shallow cross, the slant. He forces Tyreek Hill up the sideline, and there's a safety right there. Boom, double coverage, can't throw to him. Mahomes is looking that way. That's a no-go. He throws to Sammy Watkins instead. Incomplete. It's that simple. If you do that to a wide receiver, it's really tough to get on the ball. You force it somewhere else. Now, the safety's over the top here. No one else has safety help. Everyone else is one-on-one. But you'll live with that against the Packers. You're not worried about Jimmy Graham. You don't have to have a safety over the top of Jimmy Graham or Jake Kumaro or Alan Lazard. That's fine. Go one-on-one against everyone else. They're not home run threats. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to beat you. Put the safety all the way over Davante Adams. Don't have him in the middle of the field. That doesn't help. Put him over Adams, just like the Patriots did here with Tyreek Hill. You could do the same thing in the slot too. He doesn't have to be out wide. This works anywhere. The Packers like to put Davante Adams inside the numbers. Great. Here's Tyreek Hill right here. Chiefs are going to do the same thing on him right here. They're going to take away the inside. They're going to put a cornerback right in his face. Play bump and run technique, bump and run coverage with inside leverage and a safety over the top. Not going to give him the inside. Going to take away the inside. Force him outside here. And here goes Tyreek Hill. Still trying to get to the inside. Can't get there. That's how you do it. Safety right over the top. Out of the game. This is how the Patriots beat the Chiefs last year. The Chiefs are probably better than the Patriots. But you take away the team's top weapon. You make them less dangerous. This is how the Niners have to treat Davante Adams unless they don't have to worry about coverage at all and the pass rush will just win the game for them. I don't think it's going to be that simple. And I think Robert Saleh has to be ready to do this early on in the game. He can't make this adjustment at halftime. He has to be ready to go to this right away to double Davante Adams as much as possible. I'm going to end this video with this clip here. This is an example of what not to do. This is the play where the Niners lost against the Falcons. Robert Saleh meant well. He double covered Julio Jones, who is the Davante Adams of the Packers. Double covered him with Emmanuel Moseley and Marcel Harris. But instead of doing what the Patriots did, a short and long concept with one guy in his face taking away the inside and the safety over the top, they did bracket coverage, which doesn't work. I don't like bracket coverage. All due respect to everyone who uses bracket coverage. But the idea is you put a guy inside, you put a guy outside, boom, that's double coverage. And if the wide receiver didn't see it coming, he might run right in between them and put himself in a trap. But the wide receivers usually see it coming. They see the bracket coverage, and it's easy to beat. How do you beat it? You just run at one of the guys. In this case, Julio Jones runs the shallow cross at Marcel Harris, and Emmanuel Moseley's totally out of the play. A non-factor. Bracket coverage is easy to beat if the wide receiver sees it coming. All you got to do is run away from one of the brackets. Run towards the guy. Run towards one of them. He's running towards Marcel Harris. At this moment right now, it's one-on-one coverage. Emmanuel Moseley's out of the play. It's no longer a bracket. It's no longer double coverage. It's one-on-one, safety against Julio Jones, checkmate. I don't like bracket coverage. The Niners might have won this game had Moseley lined up here, taken away the shallow cross, forced the fade back here, where Marcel Harris could have been waiting. Then they win the game. Bracket coverage, they lose. They learn their lesson. No bracketing Davante Adams in this game. Short and long, guy in his face taking away the slant, safety over the top, taking away the fade. Take him out of the game. Don't mess around with bracket coverage. If they double cover Davante Adams, they hold him to under 60 yards and no touchdowns, they win just like they did week 12. If they can't stop Davante Adams, they're going to lose this game. I think they're going to stop him. I think the Niners have the brains, the pass rush, and they have my YouTube video in case they run out of ideas. Guys, feel free to take all my ideas and claim them as your own. Just beat the Packers. Well, you can give me a little credit afterward. Thanks for watching, guys.